Welcome, 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 guys, to one more Tim&Karen FLIX. And today I'm bringing to you guys, I'm not gonna say my favorite movie, but definitely one of my favorite series in books. Okay, of course, I'm gonna love the movies no matter what, but if you have the habit of reading books before watching the movies, then yeah, the books will always definitely be like 1,000 times better than movies or series and whatnot. But so today's movie, it is Harry Potter, but I'm not going to start by the first Harry Potter book. I'm sorry, movie. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stones. No. I'm going to start by the fifth one, and the one that I liked the least, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. But the reason I'm starting out with this movie, it's because it is the first book I read in English. I was still an English teacher at FISC, and I hadn't gone to the US yet, so it was definitely a challenge for me, especially because uh, just like many of you, whenever you get a book in English to read, there are some words, some new vocabulary that you may be tempted to go and look up the meaning, but you don't. You can't. You have to try and understand for yourself. But I have to say that actually the first Harry Potter book I read it in Spanish. Entonces yo empecé por la piedra filosofal. Haha. But, well, let's check out the scene. This is a scene between Harry Potter and Sirius Black, a little bit further in the movie. But this is a very interesting, important scene, especially due to their conversation. I think it's a very enlightening and uplifting type of conversation that Harry has with Sirius Black, who happens to be his godfather. Okay, so let's take a look at the scene and we'll get back.
I look like a bloody idiot, that's why.
No more than usual, Ronald. I don't know why you don't trust a honest engineer.
Nasty brat standing there as bold as brass. Harry Potter, the boy who stopped the Dark Lord, friend of mudbloods and blood traitors alike. If my poor mistress only
Creature!
knew.
That's enough of your bile. Away with you!
Of course, master. Creature lives to serve the noble house of Black.
Sorry about that. He never was very pleasant, even when I was a boy. Not to me, anyway.
What, you grew up here?
This is my parents' house. I offered it to Dumbledore as headquarters for the Order. About the only useful thing I've been able to do.
This is the Black family tree. My deranged cousin. I hated the lot of them. My parents with their pure blood mania. My mother did that after I ran away. Charming woman. I was 16.
Where did you go?
Your dad's. I was always welcome at the Potters. I see him so much in you, Harry. You are so very much alike.
I'm not so sure. Sirius, when I saw Mr. Weasley attacked, I wasn't just watching. I was the snake. And afterwards in Dumbledore's office, there was a moment when I wanted to... This connection between me and Voldemort What if the reason for it is that I am becoming more like him? I just feel so angry all the time. And what if after everything that I've been through, something's gone wrong inside me? What if I'm becoming bad?
I want you to listen to me very carefully, Harry. You're not a bad person. You're a very good person who bad things have happened to. You understand? Besides, the world isn't split into good people and Death Eaters. We've all got both light and dark inside of us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are.
Harry, time to go.
When all this is over, we'll be a proper family. We'll see.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this scene, and I hope it wasn't that difficult. What I like about it is just that we have that standard British accent. It's very clean, void of any sort of expression, so it shouldn't, I believe, shouldn't have been very difficult to understand the scene. So, um, let's get to the important part of this class, which is taking like a closer look to the vocabulary, expressions they use, how they used it. All right, so come with me. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the beginning of the scene and try to understand what creature says to Harry, okay? So let's get started.
Nasty breath standing there as bold as brass. Harry Potter, the boy who stopped the Dark Lord, friend of mudbloods and blood traitors alike. If my poor mistress of
Creature! It's enough of your bile. Away with you!
Of course, master. Creature lives to serve the noble house of Black.
All right, guys, so for a little bit of a background, all right, so if you have not ever seen a Harry Potter movie, creature is what they call a house elf, okay? And what is a house elf? Well, obviously, it is an elf, and they serve the family. So, creature is a house elf for the Black family. Okay, so basically, what is he? He is a slave. What is a slave? A slave is someone, okay, who belongs to someone else and works for this person for no money. Okay, so a slave is someone who belongs. Guys, nowadays, we are free of slavery, but until, if I'm not mistaken, 1888, we had slavery in Brazil until Princess Isabel abolished slavery. So, what is slavery, right? Or slavery is the condition we call someone who is a slave. Is someone that is treated like an object. For example, this is my cell phone, so it's mine. It's mine, it's my property, it belongs to me. Okay, so to belong, it means that something, it's property of someone's. All right, it's property of someone's. So a slave é escravo. Okay, so I know it's a little bit difficult to understand Creature, the elf, because he mumbles a lot. What does this mean, to mumble? So when you mumble, someone who mumbles is someone who, we like to say in Portuguese, fala pra dentro. That person hardly opens their mouth to speak. It's difficult to understand. So he mumbles and he's got British accent. So it can be very difficult for someone who is used to the American accent to understand. Okay, so don't feel sad if it was really hard to understand it. Okay, so a creature is a house elf who belongs to the black family. They are servants, all right? They are slaves. Now let's go back to his line. It goes, nasty brat. Right, so this is an idiom, brat. What is a brat? It goes, nasty brat, standing there as bold as brass. Okay, so nasty, what does it mean to be nasty? When someone is nasty, that person is mean. Okay, when you are mean, it means that you're really bad towards someone, very cruel. It can be someone very cruel, but nasty can also mean disgusting. Ooh, that's nasty. Like, that's disgusting. Okay, so nasty can be both of these meanings. And brat is a child who is spoiled. Okay, someone who is spoiled. This reminds me of Veruska from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I want it, Daddy. I want it. I want it. You know, like someone, a child who is always throwing a tantrum. Tantrum é fazer birra. So let me type it down for here for you guys. A tantrum. A brat is always throwing. Oh my goodness. Throwing a tantrum, meaning that they're always like, I want it now, Daddy. Okay, this is a tantrum. They throw themselves on the floor and they start yelling and pulling their hair, and you're like, oh my goodness, calm down, everybody's looking at us. So this is what a brat is, a spoiled child, a spoiled person who never gets no for an answer. All right, so he's calling Harry Potter a nasty brat, a spoiled, mean, disgusting child. And then he goes, standing there as bold. Let me put this in yellow, actually, highlight in a different color. As bold as brass. Okay, let's look at this first word here, bold. What does it mean to be bold? To be bold is someone who is courageous, who has audacity. Okay, this is to be bold. Oh, look at that audacity of his. Like, his bold. And brass. What is brass? Brass is a metal. Okay, so brass, this is brass. Okay, this is a golden metal which may look gold, but it's not gold. All right. So this is brass. So brass versus gold, an honest comparison on how to tell the difference. Okay, so this is brass. All right. And usually, if you are in the music field, in the music industry, all the blow instruments, what does it mean, blow instruments? The ones that you have to, like the flute, the trumpet, trombone. So these are the brass instruments, okay? This is the brass family. So here you have the trumpet, the trombone, the tuba, the French horn, the saxophone. All right, so they are made of brass, so they're called the brass family. But what does it mean to be as as bold as brass? Okay, so this idiom, this expression means someone who is rude or cheeky. Okay, so if you're standing there as bold as brass, like proud of himself, rude, cheeky, very uh, it's just like when we talk about someone like, oh, aquele cara lá que se acha, aquele cara que se acha demais. Look at lá, olha lá, ele lá. Entendeu, cara? So this is what it means to be as bold as brass. Standing there as bold as brass. Harry Potter, the boy who stopped the Dark Lord, friend of mudbloods. So mudbloods, here's the thing about fantasy, right? We have many words, many vocabulary words that they're not necessarily part of the English language in a sense, okay? Mudblood is what they call in the book, right? Someone who is not pure blood, who was born in a muggle family. So here's another vocabulary word that is part of the book of the Harry Potter world. So mudblood, if we translate it into Portuguese, literally it says sangue de lama. Mud is lama, meaning that that person is not pure. So not pure blood, and was born in a muggle family. What is a muggle family, Karen? I'm gonna put in brackets here. Okay, so a muggle person is a normal, non-magic person. That's what they are. All right. So I'm a muggle, you're a muggle. Everybody who cannot whip their wands are muggles. He goes on. And blood traitors alike, if my poor mistress only. And as he continues to say Sirius walks in and goes, Creature, that's enough of your fire. That's enough of your poison. What does it mean to be vile? Vile is something that is rotten, spoiled, poisonous. Okay, this what it means. So somebody who is always talking evil, who's always complaining, is someone who is vile. Okay, and he goes, away with you, like, be gone, go away. That's an expression when you want somebody to leave, to get out of here, get out of your way, stop annoying you. Away with you, leave me alone. Away with you, get out of here, be gone. Okay? Of course, Master Creature lives to serve the noble House of Black. All right, so let's continue watching this scene and we'll be right back.
Sorry about that. He never was very pleasant, even when I was a boy. Not to me, anyway.
But you grew up here.
This is my parents' house. I offered it to Dumbledore as headquarters for the Order. About the only useful thing I've been able to do.
This is the Black family tree. My deranged cousin. I hated the lot of them. My parents with their pure blood mania. My mother did that after I ran away. Charming woman. I was 16.
Where did you go?
Your dad's.
He was always welcome at the Potters. I've seen so much in you, Harry. You're both very much alike.
All right, so here we have a very sentimental part of this book, of this movie, and as I've mentioned before, this is not one of my, I'm not gonna say that I don't like it. It's just that it was the one that drove me nuts the most. I love reading. I began to like reading through Harry Potter. The first book I read, it was in Spanish, La Piedra Filosofal. And since I was just learning Spanish, I had to read it with my dictionary next to me. But of course, por ejemplo, nunca voy a olvidar que lechuza is an owl, é uma coruja. But this is the first book I read in English. All the other Harry Potters I read in Portuguese, with the exception of the first one. And this is the first book ever I read in English. I had tried reading Pride and Prejudice before, but it was way too difficult because it's old English. So it can be boring and difficult when you're learning. But the reason why it was so infuriating is how the story went. You know, it feels like, oh my gosh, I want to do something. You see the characters, they want to do something about what's going on, but they can't. Kind of like what we're living right now here in Brazil. It's never mind. But it feels like I cannot talk about politics because I get extremely angry. So let me put it aside. So this is why this book is so annoying to me. This movie is so annoying to me. But this one particular scene is amazing. This is very uplifting. Uplifting means that it puts your hopes up. It brings you back your hopes. So he's telling Harry about Creature, like he was sorry about that. He never was pleasant, like a good person, enjoyable person, even when I was a boy. Not to me anyway. And Harry like, what do you mean? Like you grew up here? And he goes on to tell, well, this is my parents' house. I offered it to Dumbledore as headquarters. So what is headquarters? Do you guys have an idea what a headquarter is? What are headquarters? Is a strategic place for planning. Head of a company, head of the military. Okay, so let's go back to the headquarters and plan. So you have a go-to place to sit down, look at the strategies, and plan your next move, plan your next attack. So that's what Sirius did. He offered his house that he inherited from his parents. What does it mean to inherit? So Sirius inherited the house from his parents. To inherit, it means to earn, to receive a possession or money from a deceased, dead relative. Usually it's from a relative. Usually you get an inheritance from a relative. But there are stories of famous people, very rich people who did not have family, to leave their belongings, their money to associates, to employees, to people who are not blood related. But usually we inherit things from our dead relatives. Okay, so Sirius inherited the house from his parents. That's what he did. He's like, look, I got this house I don't live in. Let's make it our headquarters for the Order. So this movie, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, it's an order. It's sort of like a militia that is organizing themselves to fight Voldemort. All right. And he goes on. And if you got the chance, so here's a background to Sirius Black's story. If you got the chance to watch Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is book number 3 or movie number 3, you know that Sirius Black is Harry's godfather, and he is charged. He is being blamed, condemned for the murder, for the death of Harry's family, Harry's parents, and a few other people. He was unable to prove his innocence, so he ran away. So he's in hiding. So there isn't much that he can do out in the open because he fears getting caught. So basically the only thing that he was able to do for the Order was to provide the house as headquarters. All right? The only thing useful, the only thing good. So this is the family Black tree, my deranged, crazy cousin, right? So deranged means crazy. Oh my gosh, you're deranged. Get away from me. You're crazy. Get away from me. I just love how they have this wallpaper with the tree and the branches and everyone that belongs to the family from generations to generations, like parents, grandparents, great grandparents, uncles, aunts, nephews, nieces. So here, let me go back a little bit.
I've seen so much in you, Harry. You're dead.
Here,
Why?
no.
My deranged cousin.
Here, so he's showing Harry his deranged cousin Bellatrix, Rodolphus Lestrange, right? If you see Harry Potter, she goes, I killed Sirius Black. It's not that I like her, but I do know how to make a witch voice. Sorry. So she's crazy. Literally, if you've seen the movie, you know she is crazy. So she is deranged. He goes on, I hated the lot of them. Okay. This is an expression you probably hear this way of saying, oh, a lot of them are going, it's like, it's very British. It's an expression you probably hear mostly in British movies. You hardly, I don't think I've ever heard any American person talk like that. So, oh, I hated a lot of them. Instead of just saying, oh, I hated them. In English, the British English, you definitely hear, oh, I hated a lot of them. Okay, so lot, this lot comes from a lot, a lot of them. Oh, all right. My parents and their pure blood mania. My mother died after oh, sorry, not died, did that. What did she do after he ran away?
I hated the lot of them. My parents with their pure blood mania.
So as you can see here, he goes on, my mother did that after I ran away. She burned his face out of the family tree, right? Why? Because anyone who did not agree with their way of living, of their pure blood mania, with their Nazi type of thinking, because that's what the Nazi did. They wanted to rid the humanity of the Jew, right? And basically that's what Hamas wants to do too. But so when he ran away, she burned his face out of the family tree, like, okay, you don't belong to this family anymore. Kind of like that. All right. Charming woman. I was 16. So when you say charming, I mean, it's his mother. I'm sure he loves her. She raised him, she brought him up. But, things change. We tend to go different ways sometimes, not the way our parents want us to. So that doesn't mean that she wasn't a charming person. She can be a charming person and crazy at the same time. What does it mean, charming? Lovely. Okay. And Harry goes on, where did you go? Now, guys, pay attention to this question here. Is there anything different? Anything different at all that you don't know? Not really, right? Why am I pointing this question out? You see, it's perfect English, perfect grammar. Where did you go? You got your auxiliary verb to make the question. You got the question mark, everything in the correct place. What I want to highlight here is that you see how English can be easy. Às vezes a gente fica tão focado ali, ai meu Deus, eu não entendo nada, os caras falam rápido demais, ai ele tem um sotaque diferente. Mas se você parar para analisar, tudo que vocês já aprenderam até hoje é o que eles utilizam. É só a gente parar de focar. É só a gente parar de focar naquilo que nos impede de compreender. Ai, as conexões. Ai, ele falou rápido demais. Ai, esse sotaque é ruim. Não. Foque naquilo que você sabe. Tá certo? So, where did you go? Well, your dad's. I was always welcome at the Porters. So guys, look at here. You know that whenever we have an apostrophe here, it means that it's the possession, right? For example, whose cell phone is this? This is Karen's cell phone. Now, what I want to highlight here is that since it's already understood what we're talking about, we don't need to add the object, the noun. So here we have the possessive pronouns. Okay, so we have the possessive adjectives and we have the possessive pronouns. Okay? Why these right here are called possessive adjectives? Por que que eles são chamados de possessivos? Por que que eles são chamados de possessivos adjetivos? Porque toda vez que nós utilizamos eles, a gente precisa adicionar o adjetivo. Desculpa, o substantivo. Então, o que que acontece? Ele acaba agindo como se fosse um adjetivo. No inglês, quando a gente vai dar a qualidade, a gente não coloca o adjetivo antes do objeto, right? So, for example, I have a pointer right here, you know, the little... Oh, it's broken. Okay. So, you know, the little laser pointer right here. So this is purple. This is a purple pointer. My adjective comes before the noun, before the object. And that's why this is called possessive adjectives, because we're always going to add it before. Okay, it's always going to be followed by the object. Now, if we already understood what's being talked about, like for example, oh, he ran away from home. So where did he go? Well, he went to another house, obviously. He has to go somewhere. And that's why he says, oh, your dad's. Okay, that's why he only uses the apostrophe. Okay. That's why he only uses the apostrophe. And what's the point here? So the possessive pronouns is when we don't need to add the object, because we already know what we're talking about. Whose cell phone is this? It's mine. Okay, I don't need to go in and say it again. Oh, it's my cell phone. It's redundant. It's repetitive. So we just say it's mine, it's yours, it's hers, it's his. The same way we can do that just by using the apostrophe, just like it's used here in the sentence. It's your dad's. Well, your dad's. I was always welcome at the Porters. Okay, so here again, because Porters ends with an S. Remember, guys, when we're talking about a family name, oh, eles são os Potters. We add the S to the last name because we're talking about as a group of people that belongs to a family. That's why he's saying I was always welcome at the Porters, meaning at the Porter's house with James and James's mother, James's dad, and so on. He goes, I see him. Who? James, Harry's dad. Okay. So much in you, Harry. You are very much alike. Okay. So, all right, guys. So, let's take a look at this word here, alike. All right. Alike. We all know that like means to enjoy, right? To, for example, oh, I like watching movies. I love watching movies. I'm a movie buff, you know that. So when we are saying, oh, you are very much like, when we add this at the beginning, it's just like it's to be in the state of. Okay, so whenever we add this prefix, okay, oops, to the word It means in the state of, okay? In the state of, like asleep. What does it mean to be asleep? It means that you are in the state of sleeping. You are sleeping. When you are awake, you are in the state of being out and about, okay? And when we talk alike, we are comparing. All right, so don't forget that the verb like can also be used as a comparative. I'm comparing two people here. So Harry is like his father. It doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, Harry likes his father, like he enjoys, he loves his father. No, we are comparing Harry Potter to James Potter. Okay, James Potter is Harry's dad. So they are alike. They are very similar. We are comparing them both. All right, you are both alike. So, for example, I'm like my mother. I'm, let me add this example here. I'm like my mother. My mother was a woman who loved immensely. She loved everyone in her family. Sorry, guys. It's difficult to talk about my mom. She was a very loving woman. She loved everyone. She wanted the best for everyone. And I'm like her. I love everybody in my family. I want the best for my family, for everyone. So I am like my mother in this part. All right. So this is what we're talking about here. Alike. You're so very much alike. We're comparing Harry to James. So now let's go back to the scene and take a look at what Harry responds, what Harry answers Sirius, all right?
Mother, I'll find another money. Charming woman. I was 16.
Where did you go?
Your dad's. He was always working at the Potters. I've seen so much in you, Harry. You are so very much alive.
I'm not so sure. Serious, when I saw Mr. Weasley attacked, I wasn't just watching. I was the snake. And afterwards in Dumbledore's office, there was a moment when I wanted to... This connection between me and Voldemort. What if the reason for it is that I am becoming more like him? I just feel so angry all the time. And what if after everything that I've been through, something's gone wrong inside me? What if I'm becoming bad?
I want you to listen to me very carefully, Harry. You're not a bad person. You're a very good person who bad things have happened to. You understand? Besides, the world isn't split into good people and Death Eaters. We've all got both light and dark inside us.
Okay, let me stop right there. I got carried away. We'll get back to Sirius' line. But let's first take a look at Harry's line, right? So he goes on, I'm not so sure. Like, I'm not so positive. I'm not so confident. Sirius, when I saw Mr. Weasley attacked, so he's talking about an event earlier in the movie where while he was sleeping, he was able to connect to Voldemort's mind. And he saw Voldemort attacking Mr. Weasley. Mr. Weasley is Ron's dad. So this is what he's talking about. Like, when I saw Mr. Weasley attacked, I wasn't just watching, I was the snake. And afterwards, in Dumbledore's office, there was a moment when I wanted to, this connection between me and Voldemort. What if the reason for that is that I am becoming, like I'm transforming, I'm becoming more like him? So this is Harry questioning himself, like, am I a bad person? Am I doing the things for the right reasons? What is wrong with me, right? So he's questioning himself, like we, at least once in our lifetime, will definitely do. We will definitely question ourselves, no matter what. I just feel so angry all the time. And what if after everything that I've been through, something's gone wrong? So guys, this S right here, this apostrophe S here, is not the verb to be. It's the present perfect. It's the contraction of the present perfect. How do I know it's present perfect? Well, all I gotta do is just look at the verb right next to it. Okay, so here I have gone. Gone, what is gone? Gone is the third column. It's the past participle of the verb to go. So we have go, went, gone, right? Go, went, gone. So what's if something's gone wrong inside me? What if I'm becoming bad? What if I'm transforming into bad? Right? Now I'm going to rewind the the scene again. Go back a little bit so we can fully pay attention to Sirius line right here.
Split him. Not.
Something's gone wrong inside me. What if I'm becoming bad?
I want you to listen to me very carefully, Harry. You're not a bad person. You're a very good person who bad things have happened to. You understand? Besides, the world isn't split into good people and death eaters. We've all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are.
His answer is just amazing because that ties to everything in our lives, right? And we're living in a world where we're questioning our identity. What's good, what's not, what's right, what's wrong, our moral values. So Sirius goes on, I want you to listen to me very carefully, very with your full attention. Okay, you're not a bad person, you're a very good person who bad things have happened to. So who right here is a conjunction and not necessarily the WH question we're used to. So if you want to know more, I do have a free class on YouTube for you guys, who, which, or that. Good person who bad things have happened to. You understand? Again, you guys already know this, right? But do you understand? You understand? Besides, the world isn't split into two. The world isn't split. What does it mean to be split? Isn't divided into good people and Death Eater. Again, um, can I choose another color? Let's do it green then. Okay, so we have here another vocabulary word that is part of the Harry Potter world. So what is a Death Eater? If we translate it into Portuguese, literally, comedores de morte. But in the book, they translate it into comensais da morte. They are Voldemort's followers, right? So Voldemort is this pure blood-seeking society, just like Hitler, and everyone who followed him followed by fear and not necessarily by loyalty. So into there, so he goes on, the world isn't divided, isn't split into good people and Death Eater. We've all both got light and dark inside of us. We've have. Okay, so this abbreviation is from have. We have all got both light and dark inside of us, and that is true. If you look inside yourself, if you look into your heart, and all the times you just felt so angry, sometimes we actually thought of doing harm to someone else. So we all got light, we all got dark inside of us, but what matters is the part we choose to act on. And this is the best part of this line. What matters is the part we choose to act on. So who are you? Are you a good person? Are you a bad person? Are you in the middle? I want to believe I'm a good person, and I try to act on being a good person. So that's who we really are.
Harry, time to go.
When all this is over, we'll be a proper family. We'll see.
Ay, and this is really sad, right? So Hermione comes in, nothing really to say, time to go. When all this is over, we'll be a proper family, you see. Now, this is a really sad part because, spoiler alert, if you have not seen it, cut this class over here right now. But Sirius gives Harry hope of moving out of his uncle and aunt's house. But at the end of this movie, Sirius dies. And he is killed by his deranged cousin, Bellatrix Lestrange. Alright, guys, thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye bye.